transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey, welcome to Wednesday. I'm Bill. You're on the midweek special. This is Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Who's here? I don't know. It says there's one person watching. Hi. Shout out in the comments if you're there. If you're not, well, I'll just talk to myself for a little while. Just been messing around. It's been a really crippling, crappy week at work for me. But hey, Schmibby what's going on there, Bjorn? Good to see you, man. How are you doing? How's work? My work's been sucky. My machine hasn't been working right. When it don't work right, it makes me mad. Makes the day go by very slowly. So I decided to come home to an empty house because my wife's working the next couple of days. And I figured I would go hang out with my online friends because I don't have anything better to do. And I love all of you. And I miss you and like to have you in the chat and just talk with you and everything. Doing good. Work's been okay. That's great, Bjorn. How's the family? How's your grandfather? How's he doing? Grandpa Jorgensen. Anyway, yeah, I just got through watching Grindhead Jim's Wednesday stream for Patreons only over on his Patreon. And apparently he's down in his back. Man, I hope you get to feeling better, man. I hope that massage makes you feel good. And he says he might go live this afternoon too, I hope. Oh, that's good, Bjorn. I'm glad to know everybody's doing great there. Good deal, man. I threw out a few feelers there for some folks to come in. We might have a few guests come in here in a few minutes. I threw one out there to Jim. Now, Jim, it's no pressure, man. If you're not feeling good, you don't feel like you're up to it, that's fine. If you want to just save it up for your own live stream later, that's fine too. I understand. But I thought I'd give you a chance to hop over here and say hey to me and hang out with me and my fans and my watchers for a little bit. But I got bad news for you, buddy. All of those packages, there ain't but one that's got packages for Rolo in it. The rest of that shit is yours, dude. And there's more on the way. I've been holding my wife back. She has been itching at the champ. She wants to run to the post office with all of that shit and send it to y'all at once. And I said, baby, don't do that. I said, the man's house is full of cardboard boxes right now. He just got through moving. Leave him alone. Let him digest what he's got first, then send him some more later. But I want to get it out of our house. I said, I understand that. Just take it easy. I also have a package for Jim. Well, that's good, man. It's good to have friends and send gifts to them. It makes me feel good to send gifts from the heart. Some of that stuff is not necessarily a gift, Jim, if you know what I mean, but we'll figure something out. We already talked about that a while back, and my wife said, go on and send it. So we're starting to send that stuff to you, and when you get it, you do with it as you wish, and we'll figure out something later. But I also know that you're repaying me back with something special that I never expected. So I understand. I understand perfectly. If there's anybody else out there joining me right now, shout out in the chat and say hey. Beepo Man. Hey, Bill. Hello, Beepo Man. Beepo Man. I don't know if I recognize you, Beepo Man, but welcome to the stream, and it's good to see you. You know my name, so well, my name's on the screen too, so that helps, doesn't it? Almost 2 weeks until Valicon. I know you're excited about that. Hey, Duchess of Darkness. I am doing good personally, and physically, I'm doing very well. Mentally, I'm about shot. Work is about to kill me, and I'm just ready to relax and have fun with some friends. Clifton's dad. Oh, okay. Hey, Clifton's dad, and hey, Miss Deborah. Good to see you. All right, good to see you. Good to see you guys. I'm glad y'all are here. I threw an invite over on my team page over there. Clifton, is part of the team. If he wants to come on, he's certainly welcome at any time. I know Adam said he might drop in here shortly as well, so that's a good thing. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have friends and get together and chat. I'm just kind of waiting around to see if anybody else is going to show up. Let's see what we got here in the oldie group of crap here. I'm gonna get that off of there. I don't want that on there, and don't know I necessarily need to have that on there anymore. And I'll take that off of there. And all right. Let's see. That's some more comments popping up there. Hello, Bill. Hello, Deborah. Bjorn. Everybody saying hi to each other. Tell you what, guys, I'll throw it out there into the chat here. Kind of nervous. Yeah, you nervous about going to Valicon? Is it your first convention? I know I went to a convention one time and I was very nervous about going to my first convention. My first convention was a sci-fi convention called Visions in 1998. It's the one and only time that I went to a science fiction convention. And I got to meet some online friends that I'd never met in person, but I'd always chatted with online. I've got some music that I can play from T-La or from Merman, if you want to listen to that real quick while we're waiting for some folks to show up. I've also got the old Instrument of War with Allie the Piper using her Instrument of War to protect Castle Grayskull from Skeletor. If you want to see any of that stuff or some commercials, just let me know and I'll play them. I've never been to a convention and I haven't flown in over 10 years. Dude, I have not flown since before 9/11. I kind of told myself that I would never set foot on an airplane again after they made all those rules and stuff, which is all what they call security theater. I mean, it makes the passengers feel good. It makes everybody feel good, but it really doesn't stop anything from happening. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not, it's not. Yeah, and I'm not. I don't have any desire to fly. We enjoy your show. Will you have boobies on? No. Even though my wife is not here, I will suffer the consequences of that because she's always watching. And if she's not watching, someone else is watching that's going to rat me out. So I better be good. Better be good. She told me I'm not allowed to have the booby girls here in her house anymore. She threw them all out. And that's kind of the end of that for right now. I mean, things may change, but I doubt it. Well, got 8 folks watching, and I don't have any guests on yet. I'm waiting for some of the people that I have invited. One of them I know is going to come on, another one may come on. Let's see. I'm going to play a little ditty called What Do You Do with a Drunken Sailor? And Tila is going to be singing that along with the baritone there of Fisto. And see what you guys think about this one.
Ready? 2, 3. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises. Early in the morning, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises. Early in the morning.
Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, early in the morning.
Way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober, early in the morning. Way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, early in the morning. Way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, early in the morning.
Stick him in a scupper with a hose pipe on him, stick him in a scupper with a hose pipe on him, stick him in a scupper with a hose pipe on him, early in the morning.
Way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises, early in the morning. Give him a dose of salt and water, give him a dose of salt and water, give him a dose of salt and water, early in the morning. Way hey, oh, way hey, oh, way hey, oh, early in the morning.
That's what we do with the drunken sailor, that's what we do with the drunken sailor, that's what we do with the drunken sailor, early in the morning.
Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning.
I hope you guys enjoyed a little singing there from our action figures. This is a little aside, some fun there, right quick while we're waiting on folks to show up. Vintage Motu has showed up and says hello to everyone, and I say hi back to you. Hi, Bobby. How's it going? Good to see you, sir. Glad you showed up. Any of you guys that are on the Toy Network, there is a link to the stream there if you want to hop on and be part of the open mic that I have going here as well. I'd certainly like to have any of you guys on that want to come on. I got an invite up to Grindhead Jim as well if he wants to show up, but he's not feeling very good. He's down in his back, so he may not be able to make it. Thank you, Miss Deborah. I appreciate that. And thank you, Miss Duchess of Darkness, my dear. Thank you so much. And I want to touch on a little bit of news here shortly, but I kind of want to have some guests on to talk about it. But the first thing I'm going to touch on is something that I think is hilarious. Apparently, HBO Max has changed its name to just The Max, and yesterday was its first launch day for the new application. I turned in a bunch of change earlier today. I hope that you got a bunch of dollar bills in exchange for all that change. All right. So the first day that the HBO Max went live, it crashed. As HBO Max becomes simply Max, users reported crashes and several technical difficulties in the switch. The day has finally arrived for the replacement of HBO Max with a new streaming variation known as Max. The newly rebranded streaming service, which is set to be bringing a wealth of content from Warner Brothers Discovery, HBO, and others, has, however, on its first day, been beset by a few glitches per Variety. Subscribers of the streaming platform have taken to social media to complain about the number of challenges that they have encountered as they tried to use the service. Chief among the complaints being an inability to access the platform at all. Given the scale of the conversion operation from HBO Max to Max, which would involve the migration of millions of subscribers between both platforms, the glitches are sure to be part of the deal. The conversion in itself only covers the United States for now. A spokesman for Max has addressed initial problems encountered by users. You must always anticipate issues on a tech rollout of this scale, the spokesperson said. We can only share that only minor ones have emerged and were quickly remedied. Yeah, sure. Reports of the technical glitches faced by Max have been tracked by outage tracking site Down Detector, and despite an increase in reports about HBO Max on Tuesday morning, there were still relatively few. At 8:59 a.m. Eastern Time, there were 433 user reports of outages, a relatively low number for a major service such as Max. Well, at 8:30 a.m., people are either gone to 8:59 a.m. People are either gone to work or still in bed. They're not watching HBO Max at 9 o'clock in the freaking morning. Come on. The modus operandi for the transition by the company would include HBO Max subscribers having their apps automatically updated to Max. While the company hoped a large portion of its customer base would follow that route, others would be prompted to download the new Max app. Logging onto the platform would be done using a subscriber's existing email and password. Max has new features. On April the 12th, 2023, Warner Brothers Discovery President David Zaslav has announced that there would be a new streaming platform to cater to the needs of WBD pool of entertainment content. So the question loomed, what would be the difference between the old and the new? Max will grant subscribers access to high-quality, unscripted and scripted programming from HBO Max, Max Originals, WB Movies, the DC Universe, among its other offerings, while also offering the best of the previous HBO Max programming with Discovery Plus, HBO Originals, and Warner Bros. Movies such as Succession, the Watchmen series, Chernobyl, Dune, Don't Worry Darling, and Joker will be available in an amplified version to enhance the viewing experience. Ooh. Max remains available on platforms where HBO Max worked, including iOS, Android, Amazon Fire, Fire Tablet, Android TV, Apple TV, Google Chromecast, LG Smart TV, Roku, Samsung TV, Vizio, Smartcast TV, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, whatever that is, Xbox One, and web browsers including Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge for Windows, and Apple Safari. Whoopee. So, have any of you experienced any problems with HBO Max turning into Max? Just out of curiosity. Let's see here. Got $300 for all that change. See, the money adds up. I heard from a couple of people about that yesterday. They were pissed. I can only imagine. Let's see. Black Knight's here. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing, sir? Hope you are doing well today. I caught a little bit of Ted Darkclaw on Largo yesterday, but I had to bow out early because I had to go to bed. Oh, let's see. Bjorn says howdy to the Black Knight. The Black Knight said howdy to Bjorn. Ours didn't have trouble. Knock on wood. All right. Well, that's a good thing, man. Have too many streaming services as is. Yeah, I agree. I've been threatening to get rid of all of them. Hey, Daniel Carhoonan, how's it going, my friend, my traveling friend who travels throughout the whole globe of this world? Tell us a little bit about where you are at the present and whom you have met. It would be interesting to know. Not bad. Deal with back pains. Yeah, we all deal with back pains. I got a back pain too, but apparently Grindhead Jim's is pretty rough. I hate it for my friend there. All righty. And the next thing that I was going to talk about was what's going on over at Mattel Creations. Now, this is from ToyHypeUSA.com, which is a website of toy news. So let me present that to you and let you see that. Apparently, Mattel Creations has told us that they're going to release Astroverse Vicron. We got a friend here that has decided to join us. Everybody say hello to Radical Toys. Oh,
Hey,
hello,
everyone.
Radical
What's going
Toys.
on?
How's it going, Adam?
Oh, pretty good. How you guys making out?
Pretty good. Looks like Burger
Heard you guys
King
were
Randall's
talking about
joined us.
Mattel Creations. I was like, oh, there's my cue to join.
Okay. Yeah, let me share this screen here. It's from Toy Hype USA, which is a news website for toys. What we got here?
Yeah.
That apparently they're going to release 3 new figures, and that would be Vicron, which is I guess the original He-Man concept artwork figure. Now I don't know about the other 2 figures that you see there. Maybe they'll if they release Vicron, they might release him as one figure and have these other bits and bobs as add-ons.
That's what I read. I read that they're going to release just Vicron, and they're going to do the armor sets and weapons from the other characters. That's what I read.
Sounds like an interesting thing to do, and that would also make 3 sales of one figure, because assholes like me would buy all 3 of them so they could show them off in all 3 formats, right? If anybody's wondering what this is all about, some of you guys may not be into Masters of the Universe.
I would assume they're probably just going to. They'll probably just do head swaps or something like that. I would think they'll do.
Yeah. When Roger Sweet first come up with the idea of having a He-Man figure, this was the very beginning of the line before anything was developed. What he presented was what we know today as the He-Man trio. Now that's not what it was called back then, but he had 3 concepts. He had a fantasy barbarian, he had a military concept, and he had a space concept. And he took some Big Jim figures and a whole bunch of clay and anything that he could find, bits and bobs, and created 3 concept figures. One was a spaceman that looked a lot like Boba Fett in the helmet area.
Yep, that's exactly what that one was based off of too. I was just going to say that.
And one was, I think, he called him Tank Man, and basically he had a turret from a tank for a head. This was the military concept figure. And the third figure was a barbarian that looked an awful lot like Conan the Barbarian, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But probably looked more like something that not Roger Sweet, but Mark Taylor had drawn and had in his office. Mark Taylor was a big fan of fantasy artwork and was a fantasy artist himself and an artist for Mattel at the time. And that probably was where this figure was based upon. Well, when the meeting was over with, it was finally decided that they would go with the Fantasy Barbarian figure for He-Man. The other two figures were never done, so it looks like Mattel Creations may be releasing the He-Man trio,
Right.
at least Vicron and everything that you need to make Vicron turn into one of the other two characters as well. So there you go. And finally, Fangor and Lady Slither figures have been revealed. I'll just read this out, Adam, and you can comment after I get through. Mattel sent along information of their upcoming Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vicron and Masters of the Universe Origins Fangor and Lady Slither figures that will be offered on Mattel Creations. The images in this article are just for reference of what's come before. So the figures that you see in that picture above the text here, that right here, these are actually Mattel Creations figures. Not Mattel Creations. I mean Masters of the Universe. What was the line called, Adam?
Masters of the Universe Classics, you mean, or
Classics? Yeah, thank you. Those were Classics figures that were
Classic.
released back in the day. The picture that I shown had a brain fart. Thank you for helping me there.
right?
Anyway, not
yeah.
the offerings of Mattel Creations, nor those images. No images have been released, at least not so far. I guess Canal dos Ros Mineros will probably release them before anybody else will. I don't know how those guys in Portugal get everything first, but they do, and I'm kind of glad that they do. But yeah, the figures are set to be released this summer, early fall. Okay, so it won't be long, right? With Vicron being the first to launch. By producing the Vicron figure, the team's aim was to pay homage to He-Man's original prototype, which we think you'll appreciate. On the other hand, both Lady Slither and Fangor are original designs created by Axel Jimenez during the Classics era. Ever since they were first released, they have been two of the most requested characters. So Mattel Creations team is excited to make these epic origin figures. And I will pause there for a moment. What are your thoughts there, Adam?
I think it's a pretty good idea. I don't know about you, but when it comes to the Mattel Creations, I think it's a good idea because I'm sick and tired of running to places like Walmart, Toys R Us, Target, whatever have you, and finding absolutely nothing. So I'm good with the fact that Mattel Creations is the way to go, as long as everybody gets a chance to get one. That's where the issue kind of lies.
That is pretty much the issue. Now, let me ask you this: there in Canada, are you able to get Mattel Creations stuff from Mattel Creations? Or are you having trouble with that?
No, it's actually fantastic because now they're offering Canadians $13 flat rate shipping. Perfect.
Good.
So Mattel Creations, I'm all for it because they changed that. Because it used to be like $20 or something like that for like it was different. It wasn't always the same. It just depend on who it was
Right.
and what it was. But now it's flat rate, $13. Perfect.
Good
I'm
deal,
all
man.
for it.
Me too. Well, it sounds like maybe they're getting their act together over there. The other thing that concerns me is the availability. We all know what happened at the beginning of these Mattel Creations offerings when Mini Comics Triclops sold out within a minute or two. Same thing for some other figures, and they did re-offer those figures in certain ways and what have you. But as long as there's plenty enough for everybody to have what they want, and it doesn't sell out in a matter of minutes or you
Right.
don't have a chance to get it. I mean, give us at least 48 hours to get over there and buy this stuff, please.
And yeah, that's the problem I'm having with it because we got characters. I think what was the last one? He Skeletor, and he sold out pretty darn quick. I think he was pretty fast. Can't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it kind of
I think
surprised
he
me at
sold
how
out
fast
pretty
it
fast.
went.
So yeah, and past characters. Yeah,
Bobby says, I
and
never
yeah. So
shop
I
for
don't know if
toys
everybody
anymore.
got a chance to get them or not.
Yeah. Bobby says, I never shop for toys anymore. Wasted time and gas, wear and tear. It's just better to pay for shipping. And it seems to be going that way. I mean, because of Walmart and the monopoly that they have on things, I tend to go in there and shop because I have no other choice. It is a combination grocery store, hardware store, automobile accessory store, what have you. in your where appliance store. We're always going in there for some reason. And I always drop by the toy section, and when I do, sometimes I'll film a toy hunt. But our last toy hunt was pretty much the first time I'd seen something in a long time. If you remember, Adam, I got Duplico, and I also got
Yep.
who was the mini comics Roboto, and they also had
Right.
Skeletor, the Snake Armor Skeletor, and Tongue Lasher were on the pegs there, and those were I mean, seriously, one of each figure. They were sitting on the pegs, and behind them were like armies and armies and armies of naked Stratos.
Yeah. Though we had a lot of him too at first. When we first got him, we were plagued with
Yeah.
Stratos in wave 3, and I think it was wave 5. I can't remember, but we had quite a few of them. But Stratos was one of them.
Well, the
Yep.
Walmart
And
that I'm talking about, the one I did my toy hunt in, is in Batesville, Mississippi, and it is the one Walmart in, I'd say, a 100-mile radius of me that is still got Motu on the pegs. The rest of them took it off, so it's still available in select Walmarts, folks. But hopefully, it's a select Walmart near you and not one that's 100 miles away. But anyway. What I saw in there were a lot of snout spouts and leeches and naked Stratos and Jitsu and Sorceress. Buzz off.
wave
And
7,
one,
yeah.
yeah, and one of each of these figures. So I bought Duplico, still haven't opened him out of the package. I bought Mini Comics Roboto, which I did open out of his package. He's sitting over there next to Duplico in front of Snake Mountain. I'm not going to fire up the toy cam right now because of resources, but yeah. And that was it. I mean, so I don't know. Oh, Daniel Carhoon is telling about his. He says he will try to fly to Japan this weekend. Since you are wondering where I'm traveling to, you are a world traveler, my friend, and I love looking at your Instagram and seeing all the wonderful people that you meet and places that you go. So it's good to have you here with me today. But anyway, back to over here.
I actually have well,
go ahead.
I actually got a photo sent over to me that's supposed to be from inside Mattel Creations office. I actually have a photo of Fangor if you want to see it. I can't confirm or
Sure.
deny if it's him or if it's a custom one, but we could certainly look at
Right.
it.
Sure. That'd be fine. You can either use the present button down there to share it with us, or you can send it to me by Instagram, and I'll try to share it that way.
I sent it over but via share, so you should be able to click on it. I see it down there in the window, but I don't know
Oh,
if you
okay. I
can see
see
it or
it
not.
down there. Good. All right. Let me take this off the screen, and we'll put that up on the screen. And that's a
Yeah,
very
that's the
tiny.
photo. Yeah, it's the photo that was sent to me. There's actually 2 of them. It's the same photo, just a different angle, but that's what was sent to me, and that's Fangor right there. I just can't
Okay.
confirm whether or not this is a custom or whether this is legit. Apparently, it's legit, but I can't confirm it. But if it's legit, it's looking pretty good.
I thought he had big long fangs that went almost down to his waist.
I think it might depend on what version of him, because I've seen versions of him on art where he has long fangs, where you're talking about, and then I've seen versions where he just has the short fang teeth too. So
All right. Now, of
I've
course,
seen
now
both,
people may be wondering,
but I'm not
was this
sure.
character? Yeah, people may be wondering whether this character was part of the original line. No. This character showed up when
No.
Axel Jimenez was working on the mini comics for the classics line, and he showed up in a background, just as a background character. And I think that they did release him in classics eventually, because fans were like, "Oh, come on, you
They
showed
did.
us a picture of him. We want to have it."
Yep, and the classics version actually does have the he has 2 heads. He's got the short teeth and he's got the long tusks like you were talking about
Okay,
for
and
that
of
version.
course,
So there is both.
uh, people sometimes think that I'm a Motu expert. I'm not a Motu expert on every damn thing. Sorry, and this is something that I'm really unfamiliar with. I've seen pictures of this. I've watched videos of people talking about this, but I don't know very much about the character himself. I assume he's part of the Snake Man. It seems that they're going to expand the Snake Man line out, considering not only that Fangor is coming along, but also a character called Lady Slither, who
Yep.
is a bad guy snake woman who has a snake body and a human torso, I guess.
Yep. She was around during the Great Wars. Like she was
Okay.
around during the original time that King Hiss was around. So if you
Okay.
follow like the 2000X story, that's where she comes around.
I got you.
So I was
Okay.
very. She was the one that I was most. She was the one that was most excited for when they announced that. So been kind of talking about her back and forth for a little while now.
You like those lady figures there, don't you, Adam?
Oh, I do. Yep, I do. The
I
the
knew it.
bottom torso is gonna be just like a yeah. It's gonna be. Well, I like my female characters. I'm biased. I can't help it. I like my female characters. So
I knew it. Let me read this off real quick. Notes from the team:
go
Lady
ahead.
Slither will have an elegant slipcover wrapped in snake scales, with a bronze patina finished medallion of Lady Slither's face, our nod to Medusa's head on Athena's shield. On the top of the slipcover, we have a bronze crest of the Snake Man logo. The back has the character write-up of Lady Slither inside a bronze serpent frame. The front of the box features Lady Slither commanding her troops, Fangor, Vipor, Stretch Neck, and Reptiliax from the vintage Minty comics into battle. On the card back, we have Lady Slither in her human form, featuring her interchangeable human legs. See, I didn't know about the human legs part. Sitting on her throne inside her snake lair,
Mhm.
to the left of Lady Slither is High Priest Pythonus, a character also designed by Axel. And to the right of Lady Slither is the red Snake Man fans will recognize from Koldar's card back art. Okay, so there we have. Now these are just pictures. Pictures. This is not necessarily anything from Mattel Creations that I've got here. Let me put this on the screen to show you what I'm talking about.
They're
So there you have
yeah,
the
they're
pictures there of
concept
Lady.
art.
Right. So one picture shows her with her human legs. One shows her with her snake bottom, and then the big picture is the same picture as the little one up there. So interesting.
What
She
I'm
looks
thinking
like
they're
she's
gonna
got.
do, Bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is when she's in the Origins line, I believe she's probably gonna be a deluxe, and they'll probably do the legs fall. That's my guess on it.
Well, that's what this says here that I just read up
Hopefully.
here. This came directly from Mattel's team. I don't know where this was released at, but this website, Toy Hype USA, released this saying that the pre-sale date is September, and it was talking about what it's going to look like. So she's going to have interchangeable human legs, and she's also going to have the Axel Jimenez is going to do back artwork of her sitting on that throne. So is she have her own snake faction as
Right.
opposed to say okay to King Hiss, I suppose. Now is that the staff of Carr in her hand? They're the same staff that sometimes Tila or the sorceress carries.
That's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that, but you're probably right. It's as
It
my
does
guess
look
as
like
any,
it,
but I never even really took notice to that before.
and she's
It
got one of
does look
them.
like the Snake Cause staff, doesn't it?
It does. And there in the hand of her with her snake legs or snake body, she's got this wicked looking little dagger in her hand that's got that wavy blade, that you sometimes see bad guys carry. So that's interesting.
Right.
It probably a nice little bit of accessories. I hope the cape comes with her as well. That would be nice. That would be nice.
Hopefully. Yeah, that would be. I wonder if it would be plastic. Probably a plastic cape. It could be soft goods, though. It's hard to say. Where it's purple, they
Uh,
could just reuse scare glows. Suppose they could do
Yeah,
that.
well, they released a cape with Johnny Lauer's figure that was in the Masters of the WWE Universe line, which I have a figure of it over here. China
Right.
and a little black cape, and I kind of said that I might put that on T-Law. So they've already got a design that they could use for a cape, for a lady cape already. So that I would think they might utilize that. I heard in Alabama the Tuscaloosa. Yeah, all right. That's pretty cool. That's an old Groucho Marx joke. Wouldn't it be cool if the fangs extended with a button on the back? It would be. Would be. They look interesting, says Bjorn.
Yeah. Equal action
Gojitron says,
figure.
all in on the snake lady, says Gojitron. Hey, Gojitron, how's it going, my friend?
Yep.
Hey, Goji, insta me, man.
Yeah,
if
me
you
too.
want
I'd say the
I'll
snake
send
lady
you a
all the
link.
way.
Yeah, Goji, insta me on
Yeah.
on Instagram, man, and I'll send you a link if you want to come on. Entirely up to you. But if you Instagram me and say you do, I'll send you the link, dude. So what you got going on over there? You've been kind of busy and kind of missing in action there, Adam. So I'm kind of curious what you've been up to, man.
Plugging away back at the channel starting from yesterday. I just got back Tuesday. I was on vacation for the whole weekend. I was with the girlfriend, so I just got back and I posted one video. And tonight is the live unboxing tonight, so we got that right after the Duchess of Darkness.
Okay. What are we
yeah, so other than that, I'm just creating some more of the pardon me?
I said, what are we unboxing tonight, bro?
Oh, sorry. We're doing the Super Mario Brothers movie figure. So we're opening Super Mario.
Are those
So we're doing something? We're doing something a little
eyes
different.
that follow you around? I think I saw those on the shelf the other day.
I don't know about that, but look more. They look 3D, sort of like the eyes look kind of. They advertise it as realistic eyes on the package. That's what they're calling it. They come in a black box. Each character.
The ones I saw, the eyes are kind of recessed inside of the figure's head, so that what's around the eyes is kind of sticking out a little bit from the eyeballs itself. So what it does is it gives you the illusion as you move around that those eyes are looking at you as you move around and following you around, even though they're really not. Well, Gojitron, I hate it.
Maybe that's what it does, but yeah, you described it exactly.
Yeah, I think I saw Luigi, but I didn't see Mario. But yeah.
Yeah.
I hear your little dog back there.
I think they all come with 1, 3. I think Mario's got the plunger. Oh yeah. She's outside.
Is she?
She's loud.
Well, Goji's at work, so he's not gonna be able to join us.
I don't know if you've seen my
seen your what?
So I do I've been doing a lot of speed art and stuff like that, so I'm doing more of that too for my YouTube shorts. I've been kind of in on that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing more of that stuff. Now what I plan on doing is taking my drawings that I do and make them come to life on the paper after I'm done drawing them.
Okay.
That's the plan, with a little bit of editing. Something different for some YouTube shorts. That's kind of what I got in the what I'm brewing here lately.
Okay, that's cool. I have seen some of that.
Yeah.
But so how's the channel going? I mean, did you get monetized?
I'm monetized. The only thing I got to, we were talking about before with the 2-step verification thing. I'm waiting for the PIN code for that in the mail, apparently. And it says that my payments are accumulating, but they're put on hold until I get that PIN number. So
I got
I'm just waiting weeks for that to arrive in the mail. But yeah, I'm already monetized. Everything's ready. Yeah, everything else is good to go.
Okay, well that is cool here. That is
The
cool
money's
here.
accumulating.
Does that mean that you also
The
have
super chats,
subscribe?
everything works. Everything's up, good to go.
You can do super chats. You can also, instead of just subscribing, you can also join his
Yep,
channel, and it's kind of like Patreon, but it's on
that's
YouTube where
right.
you pledge a certain amount of money a month to his channel. And do you have any
That's
people
a
that
very
have joined you?
good. I've got one, and there's a thing about that too. I'm glad you brought that up because I reached out to the toy community and asked a question: which's better, Patreon or the YouTube membership program? A lot of most people that I asked said Patreon because from what I understand, the YouTube partner membership takes 30%. So I think that's pretty true because I had a pledge from somebody for $30 a month. Now it showed me what I was going to accumulate. It was just over $15. So whatever that works out to be, I think it's 30%. I don't know. Not very good words, but anyway. So
I know
I got that
they do
individual
take 30%
to
of
switch
all
over to
your super
Patreon
chats.
instead.
Yeah, they do take 30% of all your super chats. I know that for a fact. Everybody that I know,
Do they do,
yeah,
do they really? I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Everything is it's almost 30% across the board. They take from you. They take 30% of your ad revenue. They take 30% of your subscribers, not subscribers, but channel members. And they take 30% of that money. Any super chat, super stickers, whatever, super thanks. Right now, you probably have a new super thanks button on all of your monetized videos, where if someone wants to pledge money just from watching the video, they can do that. They can give you a quick super thanks on your videos. 30% across the board, which is why I'm not monetized, but I will always pin at the top of all of my chats a link to my Streamlabs tip page, where you can go and tip me on Streamlabs. Streamlabs only takes 5%. Streamlabs only takes 5% of my money. It's just like a super chat, although it doesn't appear in the chat stream. I get it. It pops up on my screen because I have an overlay in OBS to make it pop up here when I'm live, and I can see it when the fireworks go off or whatever. The little cha-ching. You may have seen the little dollar sign go cha-ching while I'm chatting. That's someone who has given me a
I've
tip.
seen that.
Yeah, that's when
I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's when someone gives me a tip on Streamlabs, and you can send me a message by that, and I'll see it, and I can respond to it. Goji says YouTube is like Uncle Sam. They want their pound of flesh. Yeah, they do. They really do.
I can't.
They're yeah.
I believe
Go
they
ahead.
take that much. I'm shocked. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, in their opinion, they're doing you a
crazy.
favor by letting you have anything at all. But
But then again,
people,
if we weren't getting anything, people
well,
wouldn't even do YouTube if they weren't making anything.
well, that's not true. Someone would be on here doing something, even if it was just kids showing off their coloring pictures or whatever, kind of like it was back. I don't know if you remember back in the original days of YouTube. People were just nobody was making any money. It was just a repository for people's videos, and all kinds of copyright infringement happened back in those days, and nobody gave two craps. People were posting little short segments of television shows that they thought were funny or interesting.
Yep.
Some people were posting stuff of themselves, and you could only put 15 minutes or less up at that time too. If I'm not mistaken, it could be more than 15 minutes, but it's progressed to this. And YouTube's is saying, well, we make all the ad revenue, and that's how we support ourselves. And because we like you as a creator, we're going to be generous and let you share some of that. That's their thought process. Gojitron says, I just posted video number 112 on my channel, and I ain't made squat. Yeah, I can understand that. I probably
Oh
wouldn't be
yeah.
making. I
Oh,
wouldn't
I'm
be
at.
making squat. Yeah, I wouldn't be making squat right now if it hadn't been
I
for my Patreon. Now, there's also a place called Subscribe Star, and some people use that. It's the same thing as Patreon. It's just a different company. But what you do
yeah.
is you set those up, and people can pledge money to you there. They can use their credit cards through that or their PayPal through that, and they'll that company will process the payment and send me or whoever else the creator is doing it their money once a month, and that works out pretty well. And in lieu of super chats, you can go to Streamlab and give me a tip there, and that's the same thing in my opinion, and that helps me to help the channel to grow. And that's the
Right.
thing, isn't it, Adam? We need to. People don't understand that it costs money to do this.
Oh hell yes. Especially just doing your like what you guys are doing with your way with the StreamYard, that alone takes well, if you want the 1080p, it's when I looked it up, it was 40 Canadian, whatever that works out to be to American for the tier 3.
About
That
twenty five
alone is a
dollars.
monthly payment.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
$25 a month for that. Uh, I don't have the. I have the middle tier. There's two. There's the free. There's the middle, and
Yep.
then there's the big boy tier. I can't afford the big boy tier. The big boy tier gives you 1080p. It also lets you have more than 10 guests on at once. Uh, I think the most I've ever had has been 4 or 5. So I think I'm going to stick with what I got. I mean, it works for what I need to do. And
Right.
personally, I don't see any reason for you to stream on YouTube at 1080p. 720p is just fine. You don't need to see every zit on my face and every blackhead on my nose. It's not necessary, in my opinion. What do you think,
Yeah,
Adam?
it looks fine. Um I'm one of those weirdos that likes to have the 1080p, but I get where you're coming from. You don't it's fine, it works, it does what you need it to do. Where I
No,
do the puppets and stuff, I like to have the better quality, but that's for what I'm doing.
I
I
got
do
you.
my setups different from yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
I do my
understand.
setups different. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. I see both points. So yeah, I totally get it. For what you way you guys are doing it, 720p is absolutely fine.
Yeah, and but yeah, I could see going up to that because some of us do cast these things on the television set, and if you've got a big screen TV, it sure does look a lot clearer in 1080p on that 60-inch screen than it does at 720. But the majority of my viewers are probably watching me on a phone.
Right. A lot of people do. Well, I mean, I do too. I do both. So I do
Yeah,
desktop and phone. When I'm away, I do my phone, right? So
yeah,
it's all
and
different.
right, but yeah, Streamyard cost me a little bit of money. I had to upgrade my internet package for my cable company. I don't know if you knew about that, but I used to have a lot of
Yeah, yeah. Glips.
yeah, a
Yep.
lot of glitches in my streams. That was because I wasn't getting over what was it 1 megabit per second upload speeds. Now I can get up to
Right.
3, and I could probably get even more than that if I would upgrade my modem. But that's going to cost me even
Right.
more money. So that's why I asked for the
Yep.
tips and I asked for the Patreons. This what pays for these things. I mean, if I weren't doing this,
That's right.
I probably would be perfectly fine at one megabit per second upload speed because I wouldn't be doing live streams. But to keep a
Yep.
channel
And
going, it's
that's what I use it for. It's equipment.
right. To keep a channel going, it's a
Yeah,
constant
you
battle.
pretty much it
Go
is
ahead,
because
Adam.
you have to accept donations. You have to accept donations. My biggest struggle, and I know it's not everyone's struggle, but it's my biggest struggle, is freaking product. Live unboxing products, I struggle week to week for it. So to get donations helps with that, but most of my donations is going towards equipment. Like that's priority. So
Yeah,
I won't
and
touch that money.
I can
I won't
understand
touch
that.
that money. Yeah,
You know,
it's a constant battle.
yeah. Now, if you're the type of channel, I don't know if you are, Adam, or not. I do watch you, but I don't get to watch anybody much because I'm too busy working on my own stuff.
Yep.
But I try to drop in from time to time, say hello to everyone. But if you're one of those channels, and I don't know if you are, Adam, but some of them are, that go out and try to get as much new product as they can to feature on their channel, that's a lot of money right there in and of itself.
That's not me. There's no way in heck where I am in Canada that I would even be able to compete with that. So I don't even try.
And I wouldn't.
No, I don't try.
I wouldn't.
Nope.
Me
No, that's
personally, the only thing that's going to be featured on my channel is what I buy for myself when I get it. Otherwise,
right.
I'm making
That's
videos
kind of how I do it.
featuring my toys in situations, or featuring my like earlier today we had T-Law and Fisto come in and sing "Drunken Sailor," which I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen before, but it's kind of fun to see. That's the kind of stuff I like to do over here. I've got other things in the bag, but it takes a long time to do those kinds of videos, as you well know, Adam.
Yeah, oh, they do. Yep. I mean, I work on my channel, just for example, Monday to Friday, 5 hours a day. You wouldn't think that, but that's what I put into it easily.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you stream almost on a daily basis, do you not? Or at least put a video up on a daily basis.
Yeah, I do. I do Monday to Friday, and depending on what there is for news, I could put anywhere from 1 to 3 videos a day. Usually it's 1 a day, but sometimes it's 2. So that's my average. But Monday to Friday, yeah, I'm always doing something. That doesn't even include the stuff that drops on Mattel Creations or my YouTube Shorts, which they take a half a day because I got to draw it and then I got to edit everything. So that's that.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot. I put a lot of hours in behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yeah, well, I know about it because I'm in the same boat you are. I don't do
Yeah.
nearly as much as you do, which is one of the reasons why that you skyrocketed up as quick as you did. And I don't have the time for it. I mean, I really don't have any business being live today. I should be doing other things because I just got home from work, and I work all day long at my job, and then I come home and do this as kind of a side hustle or kind of some fun hustle. And if I make a little bit of money at it, that's just a little icing on the cake. But the money I'm making right now is just barely paying for my cable now. So, and then
Yep.
StreamYard, I got to pay for that, and I need to buy a new desktop computer someday so that I can really, really, really get some stuff done here. That's going to cost out the butthole. I don't have a decent mic. I'm just using the mic that's built in on my computer, which it seems to do okay. I don't hear a lot of complaints about it, but it's not a high quality mic.
Yep. And it's like you were saying, there's people out there that have the new product. Those people have their subscribers way up, but you got to think about the amount of money that they dropped, because a lot of that stuff they got to grab it from Fleabay, they got to grab it from wherever they can get it. They're paying third party prices to get their subscribers up that high. There's
Yeah,
just no way that I could do that.
No, I can't. I'm not going to.
I'm not either. Never.
It's just not. It's not what this channel's about anyway. Now, Gojatron says that he doesn't buy
Right.
anything specifically for a video that's fool's gold. I only buy stuff that I actually want for my collection, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. That's the way I used to tell. Well, back when I was a comic collector, people
Right.
would talk about comic collecting, and that was back in the days of speculators. These guys that would come in, didn't know shit about nothing, to deal with anything Marvel or DC or any of the other independents, and they would come in and they would snatch all the first issues, probably double issues of all the first issues off the shelf, and run up there and buy them, thinking that they would put their kids through college someday with them. They
Right.
got to the cleaners on that because all of that went away. The days of Action Comics #1 selling for $1 million is back then, and for that particular comic, because there aren't that many copies of that left in this world. I think that all the copies of Action Comics #1, everybody knows who owns them and where they are. There aren't any unknown copies of Action Comics #1 that I'm aware of, and that's why it's worth that much money. no comic that's produced nowadays from the 90s forward, 80s forward, really, is ever going to be worth that much money because there's too many of them in existence.
Right.
But I would
I
always
don't
tell
know,
people,
man.
if you're going to collect comics, collect what you want to read and enjoy that.
Right.
And it's just with toys. Collect what you want to play with or what you want to display or what you like, and screw all the rest of it. If you don't like it, don't get it. Why would you get something that you don't like just because you want to show it off to someone?
Yeah, there's not much point in it.
No.
I pick through the characters that I want now. Like especially with I'm very particular with Masters now going forward, so I'm basically on the Origins bandwagon right now only at this current point.
I've been pretty much Origins and Superpowers, and I wasn't on Superpowers because it wasn't out when I first started back into going to the Origins. Now I do my vintage stuff. I do collect a few vintage things, but mainly that's vintage Superpowers, vintage He-Man stuff. I do have some eclectic stuff in here, like the model kits that I have from like monster scenes and stuff like that. At one time, I was big in Doctor Who, especially the Underground Toys Doctor Who figures, but I haven't collected anything new on that in years. And I don't even know if they're still making new stuff for that. Steve Goji says, comic speculators never understood the rule of supply versus demand. Absolutely. And Gojitron recently pared his collection down. He sold off some things, gave some things away, but to make more room for some of the newer things that he might want to purchase, I think, or to just pare it down, period. Goji, if you would like to comment about that real quick in the chat, I would appreciate that, because I know from personal experience how hard it is when you have so much stuff and place to put all of that stuff. And I can't display all of my stuff. So my stuff is stored away in boxes, and I don't know how much stuff I actually have as a result of that.
Right.
You ever find yourself in that situation, Adam?
Yeah, I have stuff in my closet. I don't even remember what the heck's in there. I've got so much stuff in there now.
I was looking for something the other day. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I have my He-Man stuff out, and that's it. Like my G.I. Joe Classified, anything else that I have is in a box because I just don't have the room. I just don't have it.
Well, I was looking for something the other day. I don't even remember what it was I was looking for, but I was looking for it. I didn't know where it was. And all these boxes in here. So I was going through the boxes looking for this thing that I'm looking for. And I'm opening these boxes. It's like opening Christmas presents. You don't know what's in them. And you open them up and go, oh, I have that. I forgot I had that. And then
you do get to that point when you've got a lot of stuff. You get to that point. It's like, what? Where did I get this?
Well, I found out that I've got 2 Black Series Luke Skywalker figures. Why do I have 2 of them? Well, I bought one, I put it away and forgot I had it and bought it again when I saw it at a store somewhere. And we're like, oh, Luke Skywalker. Okay, Goji has answered me here. Every year or so, I look at what I have and what's coming that I want, and I decide to part with things. Space and disposable cash are always limited, yes. So the next question for Gojitron then would be, when you look at what you have and look at what you want, and then you have to decide what you want to part with, how hard is it to part with things? I find it to be extremely anxiety inducing to even think about parting with the things that I have, even if I don't even know what I have in here. I guess that sounds crazy to some folks.
It's got some merits, at least on my end, because when it comes to my Masters of the Universe, I couldn't part with one of them unless I had a double. I would not part with it. There's just no way. You got
Oh,
characters like Web Store that you can't even get anymore in the Origins, so it's like
right.
no way.
Well, you know,
That would cause big anxiety for me.
I have a few doubles of figures from the lines, but it's for a reason. And of course, my wife and I've had a discussion about that. She'd be like, "Why are you buying Naked Stratos again?" And I go, "I don't want Naked Stratos, and I'm not trying to buy Naked Stratos to help Mattel by any means. I'm buying Naked Stratos because I can use his arms and his legs and his torso for something else if I want to make some sort of a customized figure. So I'll buy stuff like that just so that
Right.
I can make stuff. Like I've had 3 sorceress figures, okay, and one of them became Queen Marlena. Another one's became the bottom half of her became the legs for Tila in a wedding gown. So, I mean, I buying multiple
Yeah.
figures. I have a reason for it, but not always.
Right. I've got doubles too, but I don't have that many doubles. Like I've only got maybe 10 to 12 Origin doubles that are packages. So
Oops, I didn't mean
extra
to do
stuff I
that.
will not part with.
I didn't mean to do that. I was
It's all
trying,
good.
trying to do this. There we go. Now, you just ate some of that sandwich. Do it again.
It's, it's the Burger King guy.
Yeah, I know.
See the
It's
Burger
Burger
King
King.
bag?
Yeah, Burger King's eating a sandwich. That's just hilarious, Adam. Where do you come up with the ideas for all that?
It's just, I don't know. Well, you know, King Randor, everybody thinks of freaking the Burger King, and then
Well,
I pulled out
I
a
get that,
hamburger in
but
his hand, and then
the
I'd be
idea
like, well, I
of
put a,
Randall, he's got a Burger King second one, and he's got the burger in the other. I get that, but then suddenly he eats some of that sandwich. You can see his cheeks bulging out, and he's
yeah.
eating. That is hilarious, man.
It's just an artistic thing. Like I think about that stuff. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. I just do it.
I like it. It's humorous. I can tell you that now. You know, yeah, you go. Every time I see your animated characters coming on screen, they're always doing something, and it's amazing when you see them do it. Even
Yeah.
Radical Mom didn't notice it until I said something about it. But yeah, I pay attention to the little animated characters like Cyclone. When Cyclone's on the screen, every once in a while he'll spin, you know, and you're like, "Damn, did he just spin?
Yeah.
Damn!"
Yeah.
Goji answers my question. It's not difficult parting with stuff. I previously sold a complete Transformers G1 collection, a Clash of the Titans collection. Oh my God! And all of my Jumbo Shogun Warriors and dozens of other rare items. Wow, Goji. So when you sell something like, say, Clash of the Titans collection or Jumbo Machinder, do you ever regret that afterwards? Or you like somewhere on down the line, you're like, I wish I hadn't sold that because now I got to go get it again because I want it back in the collection. You ever get to that point? Curious. Because
Oh
I've
my
done that.
lord.
I've sold something before and been like, damn, I wished I hadn't sold that.
I've done it not that long ago. Actually, just shortly, probably about 6 months before I started my channel. I had about 15 to 20 classics toys, Masters of the Universe classics. Like I had Man at Arms, I had the Yellow Evil Lyn, I've had Skeletor, the original Tila, and I sold them. And now I still have anxiety from it.
I
I'm like,
can
hey,
yeah, I can
because I'll never
imagine
get them
that.
back.
I could see that. I'd be the
There's no
same
way.
way, dude. I'd be like, damn, you know. And I wished I had
I'll never
gotten.
have them back.
What's that again?
Yeah,
You said you never have.
stress. Like right now, I currently have about, I want to say probably about, well, I've got about 20 classics right now, but I had another 20 on top of that I sold before the channel, right? So,
Wow.
that put me through a lot of stress.
Did you have the Queen Marlena with Cringer the Tiger?
I didn't. The ones that I had was I've had. Let me see. I had Tongue Lashore. I had Squeeze. Squeeze is I'm a huge fan of Squeeze, right, for Snake Men. I had him.
Uh-huh.
That would probably put a lot of stress. That put the most stress on me because I really freaking like that figure. I had my
Yeah.
Tila that shot up in price. That one put stress. Man at Arms, Skeletor, like the original Skeletor that was released in Classics. I had them. And there was a few others. I can't think of the top of my head who they were, but there was about 15 to 20 of them in total. And yeah, it just gives me anxiety thinking about it. Never again will I ever do that. Never again.
Goji says, I regret not holding on to stuff longer and getting paid more for it, but I don't want any of it back. I've had them, I enjoyed them, and then moved on. Gochi seems to be a lot more healthy about the idea of his toy collection than I am, apparently. Yeah. And I'm bad about seeing something and going, I want that really, really bad. And then I do nothing but work towards getting that into my collection. For what end to say I have it sometimes, I
Right.
guess. But what I would love to have is I would love to have that little Cringer that came with Marlena from Classics. That is the to me the
Right.
ultimate Cringer. I mean, he's got the right face sculpt. Nothing I have here has
he
that
does.
face sculpt. Yeah.
It is. And he's the perfect size too. Like he's not too big or too small. He's a pretty good size too.
Yeah, he was kind of small for the Classics, but I think he'd be just right for Origins.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I want that figure too because you can change her into the Captain Glenn. That's why I like it as
Yeah,
well,
you sure
so
can.
I
You
love
sure
that figure.
can. Well, that kind of covered my thing about Mattel Creations. Do you think that the Origins figures are going to be exclusive Mattel Creations things from now on, or do you think they're still going to be releasing stuff through, say, BBTS or Entertainment Earth or say Amazon?
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna keep a slew of them through Mattel Creations, at least for now. They're gonna do the exclusives like Mossman to places like Walmart and Target because those are the big retailers that can hold those demands. So that's gonna happen. I think that will always probably be a thing unless retail goes away. I always speculated by the time my daughter, she's 12 now, by the time she becomes a young adult, I think retail is going to go bye-bye, but that's my opinion on it. That's my 2 cents. I think retail is going to disappear and everything is going to be online for the new generations, not our generations. We probably won't see it, but
Right.
for that, that's my
And this,
idea. So yeah, I would say Origins is definitely going to. I think Origins will eventually, or not just Origins, but just toys in general, online in the future. So yes to
right.
the question.
Okay. Well, Mr. Poe's going to go get him something to eat. So we'll see you later, sir. Thank you for dropping in. I think you're about right, Adam. I do think that there's a place for Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon, what have you, for online sales. And I find it rather interesting that toy companies like Mattel / Hasbro and what have you are moving to eliminating the middleman and selling their toys directly to us. If they can do it correctly, I have more power to them. It would be easier to get our things.
Right.
Only problem with that is that you're basically, it's like buying clothing online. You know, long gone are the days when you could go try on something and see if it fits right or not. Now you got to buy it, get it home in the mail, and then try it on and see if it fits. And if it don't, then you got the hassle of trying to send it back or just, I just wasted my money. I mean, have you ever bought a figure say online, and when you got it home, whoever was painting the eyeballs on the figure that day wasn't having a very good day, and they painted the eyeballs cockeyed so that the figure was looking up and down at the same time.
Yep, I've gotten one before. Speaking on like the clothing thing that you said, I recently just got a Cobra Kai jacket, and when they sent it out to me, it was basically an Asian man medium, not a Canadian man medium. So the damn thing was too small. And you want to talk about red hoops that I had to jump through just to get that jacket back to them? It almost wasn't worth it. So
And they
yeah,
make it that
that's a
way
pain
so
in the
that you
ass.
don't send it back. They make it that way so you don't send it back. That you just eat that and either
Yeah.
buy another one, or they made their money off of you and they don't care. Daniel
Yep.
Corhunen has the Marlena figure. Man, you are a lucky man if you've got that figure. That is that I the figure itself I wouldn't mind having, but I really want that Cringer from that figure. And you know how much they're going, that just the Cringer, you know how much he's going for on the Evil Bay?
I'd have to look because all I know is they're over 100. That's all I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're probably
$100
over
or more.
100 Canadian.
$100 or more just for the Cringer.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you want to buy the Cringer alone, sometimes it's
Yeah,
more than
that's
buying
why
a
it's
complete
the-
Marlena figure in box.
Yep. I managed to get a couple classics at like a $40 value Canadian, and it was just because there's a guy that's just outside of my city selling them on eBay. I snatched a few of them up. I was like, oh, I'm getting on these. I ended up getting like King Hiss. I got Bo. I can't remember who else I got, but I ended up getting a couple characters anyway. I was like, oh my lord. I was like, I'm getting right on these. So those kind of deals you just don't see too often on classics.
Yeah, I could
Especially
imagine.
sealed.
Right. Right. I can only imagine. Well,
There's more of them. I'll just never own them.
yeah. Well, I never got in on classic to begin with, and by the time I was even aware
I
of it,
wanted to talk about for a minute.
go ahead. You
Yeah.
got the mic.
My issue with the secondary, I don't know if this is the same as it is in the United States with secondary market, meaning like places like Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know who else you guys got down there for Entertainment Earth. That's United too, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Entertainment.
it doesn't matter. Getting to my point is my problem with that. My point with that is here in Canada, we've got a lot of secondary retailer stores as well. However, their shipping costs are really high and the product cost is at least $15 more. So right now, if I want to buy an action figure from like say someone from Ontario, Canada, I'm looking at $70, $60, $70 to get one figure. That's just not going to fly with guys like me. It's not, I don't think that's going to stick around long enough. So I don't know how places like that is going to be sticking around. Like, I don't know how it works with Big Bad Toy Store. Is it cheap for you guys, or is it more expensive than like say somewhere's like Mattel Creations?
Big Bad Toy Store is interesting. There's a slight markup on their stuff, and you can also pay a premium price to make sure that your package comes in pristine mint condition. Not always available, but sometimes it's an option. But it's a little bit of a markup. It's not that much. Say, for instance, a $22 figure may cost you $24 over there at Big Bad. Their shipping is reasonable. Usually it's around $7 or $8 if you go for the cheapest shipping that they have. Now you can do the next day air for $40 if you want to. Why you would want to do something like that, I don't know. Excuse me, but yeah. The other thing that's nice about that is you can combine your shipping so that you're paying one flat rate shipping rate by putting your toys in a pile of loot, which you can buy. You can pre-order a bunch of toys and have them go to your pile of loot. Once your pile of loot fills up, you got 90 days to empty it out. And therefore, if you got a lot of stuff on pre-order and it all comes in at once, but it's not coming in all at the same time, instead of having separate shipments
Right.
for each one of those toys, you put them in this pile of loot, and then you have one big box come to you for one shipping rate. And that's where you save a little money when it comes to shipping at Big Bad.
Oh, so that would explain why you guys can, when you guys put your items in your loot, it'll hold for how many days? 90 days or something like
90
that?
days. 90 days. That's right.
So now I understand why they hold it for 90 days, because I was wondering why the heck do they hold it so long for you? That makes sense. So
They'll
that you can get
hold
a
it.
flat
Now,
rate-
look,
flat
you've
rate
already
shipping
bought
rate.
it. All right, say you pre-order He-Man. Okay, when He-Man comes in, your credit card
Right.
immediately gets charged for He-Man, and if you have it fixed to go on your pile of loot, then it sits in your pile of loot. So you've only paid for the figure. You haven't paid for shipping yet, and it sits in the pile of loot. The pile of loot, it can sit there for up to 90 days. You have between the time it arrives and 90 days later to get it out of your pile of loot. So that gives you 90 days to collect some more figures or some more toys into that pile of loot. When it gets up to a certain
Right.
point, at any time, you can say, okay, ship it to me. Ship me these things out of my pile of loot, or ship me everything in my pile of loot. And then they'll box it all up and they'll ship it to
See,
you.
that's
And then and only then they charge you shipping.
See, I'm jealous because we don't have that here. That's actually really good. So I could see stuff like Big Bad Toy Store, why they flourish so well, because we don't have that here. We pay $25, $30 for friggin' a shipping for one toy, and it ends up being like $40 or $50 for the figure. So secondary market for us is like paying eBay prices. So there's no
That's
point in
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
it.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't see
so yep, so you guys are lucky.
Well, yeah, it's time to count our blessings. Well, like I said, I don't see how that can sustain itself, because I wouldn't be willing to do that, and obviously you're not either. Gojitron
They won't.
says the same thing I said. The attraction
Nope.
for Big Bad Toy Store for him is the pile of loot option and $4 standard shipping. See, he's had up to 8 to 10 pound boxes shipped to him for that $4 flat rate. And me too. I mean, why not? Why would you have?
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Why would you pre-order 15 items and then pay shipping on each one of those items to get it as it comes when you got this pile of loot option? So fill the pile of loot up with loot, and then have them put it all in one box, and you pay one shipping price for it. And that flat rate shipping is worth it. Yeah.
Right.
And
So,
now,
I mean,
I don't
it's
think
just- it's
Entertainment
bananas.
Earth offers that option for a pile of loot, but Big Bad Toy Store offers that's their big thing, is the pile of loot, and that's the attraction
Right.
for me. Now I don't know if they
That
offer
would-
international
that would
shipping or
be-
not. Have you tried to see what international rates were like at Big Bad Toy Store?
I haven't specifically with Big Bad Toy Store, but I used to order from them. I actually have a couple toys from Super 7 through them, and that was before the pandemic. And I remember the shipping being a little bit more, so it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't awesome either. The problem I had with Big Bad Toy Store originally is taking like over a month to get a figure that was in stock. Like it just wasn't viable for me. So, but I don't know what it would be now. God only knows. God only
Yeah,
knows.
that is one of their downfalls. When you pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store, 9 times out of 10, you'll see the figure on the shelf before they ever actually have it available from their store. And
Right.
that's a
The
lot of
best
people would
option
do
for
that.
guys like me. Yep. For guys like me, our best option is getting through Amazon, because if we buy some figures that are more than $35, free shipping in Canada. It's awesome. It's the best bang in the buck, and then you can get your sales on top of it. So Amazon is my best bet. My downside of Amazon is they take a little longer to get product in. So I would never have anything new to review before anybody else, which is fine because that's not what my channel's about anyway. That doesn't
Yeah.
work. That just wouldn't be viable for me. But
Yeah.
that's basically where I'm at. I have to get through things through Amazon if I want to go the cheap route. Yeah, that's it. We don't have stuff like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth where we have those options. The only place that's good from the United States that I know for 100% sure is Mattel Creations, because it's the
Nice.
$13 flat rate shipping.
That's interesting. Did you say that
We
Mattel
don't
Creations
mind that at
is
all.
good? At one time, Mattel Creations did not have it going on at all over there.
Yep.
Things were really, really messed up. But maybe that. Hey, John, good to see you, man.
It was.
Goji's saying both Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth each have nice deals in their clearance sections as well. He's gotten a $50 figure for Entertainment Earth for just $15. So I mean, yeah, I've done that before too. A lot of times they'll be a little overstocked on some things. I know Big Bad was doing some one-day sales here recently, and there's pretty good deals in those. I would think that some enterprising individual in Canada would see that there would be money to be made with this and come up with something similar option for you guys. I'm surprised that that there isn't an international option on these big online sale stores that
No,
here in the United States either.
These international places that we buy from the States and stuff, they want to charge us crazy prices for shipping. Like we're paying $30 for shipping. That's what we're paying. It's crazy.
Wow.
Just for me to for Joneser to ship an item out to me or to him, it's like I think I sent him out a care package to his little guy there for Christmas and Lyric, and it was $45, and there wasn't anything in the damn envelope. There was like 2 items or 3 items in there. It was a toy and a T-shirt.
Yeah, I remember that. And you know, I sent you a couple of figures, and it cost me more to send the figures to you than it was to buy the darn figures at Walmart.
Goldutron says Canada still has Toys R Us. I'm jealous. You have nothing to be jealous about. There is nothing there. It is worse than Walmart. They do not have. If you're a Masters of the Universe collector, or if you're like, let me see. Think of some G.I. Joe classified collector. Forget it. They've got the same stock for the past 2 years. There's nothing.
Well, I was
special
going
about
to
Toys
say
R Us.
pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I was going to say pretty much the same thing, Adam. Goji, if you're thinking about the Toys R Us that we remember, that ain't what's up there. It's kind of like what he's saying. It's like a dime store version of Toys R Us.
It's not what it used to be.
America has no toy store now, really. Yeah, and you're right. When Toys R Us went out of business, they were the last great toy store that there was. And it also affected the toy market as well, because Toys R Us was so huge, and they had the ability to carry so many different lines that you would never see in retail. They could have SKUs that were just Toys R Us SKUs because Toys R Us had the money to say, yeah, we'll stock all of that right there, and that was enough to get those toys off the ground. They wouldn't be available. It's not that it was a Toys R Us exclusive. It's just that retail wasn't carrying it, but Toys R Us had the money and the gumption and the balls to back it and put it on their shelf.
Right.
He retracts his statement about Toys R Us. But yeah, when Toys R Us went out of business, many toy lines just ceased to exist because they couldn't be on the shelf anywhere else. And we thought, well, maybe Walmart and Target.
You know what I noticed before they were.
Yeah, what?
I remember when Toys R Us went under when you guys lost Toys R Us, it was right around the same time, because we briefly lost Toys R Us, then it came back. At the end of it, they were selling toys that were like China toys, stuff that people were just bringing back. Their product was so shit at the end. Pardon my language, but it was really bad. And then they brought it back, and it just hasn't been able to sustain since. It's not the Toys R Us that we remember when we were kids. I remember being like 10 years old. I'd go to Toys R Us, and there'd just be everything from G.I. Joe, He-Man, friggin' I remember like we'd have like just one row full of like Crash toys. If you guys remember those ones, just all kinds of cool properties. It's not like
No, and the thing about it was like an adventure when you went in there, because there would be whole aisles of one toy line. The
Yeah,
the, the,
it
the
really
planogram would
was.
extend all the way down the line. Everything that there was, every play set that there was for that line would be there, and it was amazing. You could buy stuff like Playmobil stuff that you just don't see on the shelf
Right.
anywhere else. Would be there. So,
Right.
the ability to walk into a place with everything that there is to be had on display and ready to be sold, and plenty of it is gone. It ain't Target. It ain't It definitely isn't Walmart. Walmart has got their toy section has
Oh hell
become
no.
steadily worse and worse and worse over the years, and the lockdowns on the coof didn't help any of that any. It was really awful then. I don't know, but you can go back and me and my wife did a few toy hunts way back in those days when it was let's go in and do a toy hunt and see if there are any toys on display, because half the time the shelves will be empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bain Capital is the reason that Toys R Us went out of business, because they borrowed money on the money that they had already borrowed from themselves. I can't explain it any better than that. It's some kind of a scheme that everybody who invests makes money, and then the company itself goes out of business and goes into bankruptcy and ceases to exist. It's like, I don't know, something out of one of those movies, yeah, it was pretty awful. And you're right, John.
Yep. It's
That's
it's
why.
a, it's a, it's
Go ahead. I'm listening.
it's a damn shame because we had some good stuff. I was just saying it's a damn shame because we had some good stuff back then. Like we really did.
Oh yeah, Bain also is the reason KB
There-
Toys isn't around. If you remember KB, you may not remember KB Toys, but KB Toys was a mall toy store.
I don't think we
Kinda like
had that
Liquor
here.
Store. Yeah, you go in the mall and there'll always be a KB toy. I think Will McLaughlin was a manager at a KB toy back when he was younger. And you walk in the mall, and one of the places that you go, besides B. Dalton Booksellers or Walden Books, would be down to KB Toy. And KB Toys always had that little display out front that was basically a little table with some walls around it with little action toys. The toys that you put the batteries in and they roll around. They would have those on display out front, or some big
Okay.
thing full of balls and stuff like that. And you go in there, and there would be like 4 or 5 aisles of toys, and there would be action figures on the pegs. There would be play sets, It was like a mini Toys R Us in the mall. And that was always a fun place to go. And they would have a lot of what we call old stock. That would be stuff that's been around for ages, but it's just never sold, and it's still sitting back there, but it's still brand new, never been opened out of the package. So like Marvel Legends or something like that. If you're looking for a Marvel
Right.
Legend figure released last year, or year before last, or whatever, a lot of times you could go in KB Toys and there'd be a few of them back there on the pegs, and you could grab them brand new, still in the package, retail price.
Nice.
Walmart
Now, do
is
you guys
gone.
still have Kmart down in the States or no?
They are still around, I think. All the ones that were around here all got closed because Kmart did a lot of restructuring several years ago and closed a lot of their stores. And I think that whatever's left is just
Okay.
a shell of what it used to be anyway. And Walmart has gone so far, has gone down the hill and into the stream and floated away as far as I'm concerned. If you want to see what Walmart has deteriorated into, go to the website called The People of Walmart. And that's what you see roaming around in there. And then you,
When it comes to Walmart, toys was never their number one seller anyway. It's food. So toys is like neither here
Toys is always an
why they
afterthought.
bother with exclusives there, because toys is not their number one seller.
No,
Yeah.
the people who shop in Walmart do not buy toys except for a child's birthday party or because a child's screaming and they want them to shut up. And they'll buy them something to make
Right.
them be quiet.
Right. Right. $5 bin sort of thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, John. Yeah, if you want to see the entire story of the demise of both KB Toys and Toys R Us, there is a YouTube channel called The Company Man, and he talks about the rise and fall of different stores, and he has episodes on both KB Toys and he has an episode about Toys R Us, and he goes into detail about what happened. KB's Red Slash sales were awesome. 3 for $10 action figures. Yeah, that was great back in the day. KB Toys was an awesome toy store. And when it went out of business, it was a sad day, just like the Toys R Us when it went out of business. It was really, really, really sad for the toy industry in general, because they had to scramble. Because now their main number one buyer was no longer around. And so they were stuck with a lot of stock that was supposed to have gone out to Toys R Us that now it's just moldering in a warehouse, and they can't afford that.
Right.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. It's not what it used to be. But yeah, I think going back to what we originally talked about is I think they will be on Mattel Creations going forward. I mean, I kind of hope that they do. I just really hope that everyone gets a chance to get them.
yeah, let me send out a quick message here.
Sure. I'm all for
telling-
Mattel Creations, especially with the flat rate shipping. Plus, I like doing the
Yeah.
live coverage for it, so bring it on.
Right. Well, you do such
It
an
only
awesome
benefit.
job.
It only.
Keep on going, Adam. Talk, man.
It's where I get the most people in my stream is the Mattel Creations. It's where I get the most audience is the Mattel Creations drops. So I'm all for it. I get lots of people in. We get to have some conversations. It's great. I'm all for it. Bring it on.
Well, you do an awesome job of being able to keep up with that stuff too, Adam. And when that stuff
It's
comes
set up
out,
that I
you're
do
right
for
on
it.
the ball there with it too. And John was telling Gojitron.
Oh yeah. Well, I go live 1 hour before it drops. I always do that. So
Yeah, and you stay on a lot of times until it sells out. Sometimes too, don't you?
I do. I usually go anywhere from a half an hour to an hour later, and just keep checking on it to see in the stream to see whether or not it sells out. And I
Mhm.
think that's what happened to C Skeletor. I think he sold out like in 5 minutes or something crazy like that. It was really quick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I hate it. I know Mattel's happy when it happens because now all of their stock is sold out, and they can say, "Look, we win." But ultimately, we as the buyer lose because they didn't offer enough product so that everybody that wanted one could have one. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I didn't want Heath Skeletor, but there were some figures I did want that I won't have and won't ever have, and that's Mini Comic Triclops, which after the fact, I probably am glad I didn't get him, and
Yeah.
Koldar. I kind of wanted Koldar really, really bad, and it kind of hurt my feelings when I didn't get Mr. Koldar. Gojitron says that
Yeah.
those KB Red Slash sales were how he got most of his toys in the 90s. And Mr. Wonderful is with us. Hey, good evening, man. Good to see you. And Mr. Wonderful, if you want to come on, I've got a link up there in the Instagram chat. And I was telling everybody that it's already 6 o'clock, and I've been on since just a little about 4:30. So that's an hour 41 minutes. So The 2 hour mark has always been my goal to end the show. So we got about 20 minutes of show left. So if anybody wants to come on with me and Adam, now's the time to do it, because I'm not going to stay on too much longer, because I want to spend the rest of my
I'm
evening
heading out in a
relaxing.
minute too, because I gotta get some.
Well, you got a
I
show to
got a few
produce.
things
don't
I
you?
gotta do too. I want to actually do some artwork before. Yeah, I got a show, and I'd like to get some artwork done. And I also want to go on Duchess of Darkness's channel at 10 o'clock my time, so I always watch hers. So
Family time is number one, man.
got
Everything's
lots
number
to
one.
do.
Family is always number one, Mr. Wonderful, so don't worry. And yeah, I understand, Adam, when you got a show to produce, you can't produce it and be on somebody else's show at the same time. And it is good to see
Oh, yeah.
everybody, isn't it,
I have
Duchess?
the
Yeah.
setup done yet. I haven't even started it.
Yeah, well, I'm the world's worst. Sometimes I'll be producing the show, doing pre-production on the show right up until minutes, sometimes seconds before I actually go live with it. And I will admit I'm guilty of still uploading videos to the video section of StreamYard while I'm live. Done that before. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
time gets away. It's like there's just not enough hours in the day to do everything I want to do. And then again,
No,
I don't know if it's
like
laziness or whether
sometimes
I'm
when I
just
chat
tired.
with you guys. Yeah, like I'll be in the chat with you guys sometimes on someone's live, but I'm actually doing something. I might be drawing, or I might be working on a video, or the case may be. I'm always playing catch up with stuff.
Well, another thing, I'll come into someone's chat while they're live or whatever, and I'll say hello to everyone, and then you may not hear
Right.
from me again. Well, I'm watching the show. I'm bad about I can't focus my attention on two things at once. And if I'm really, really, really focused in on what the show is about or what the
Right.
people are talking about on the show, I'm ignoring the chat. Sorry, chat. I mean, I like the chat too, but it's either one or the other a lot of times for me. And sometimes, I'll say hello to everyone in the chat, and then I'll just focus in on the show. And then by the time the show's over, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't chat to nobody in the chat hardly. Walmart Cardboard is at church right now. He's at the Bible Wednesday night Bible study, listening to this live stream and working security at the children's area. You naughty now. You're supposed to be studying the Bible, not watching me. But and if you're over there working security for the children's areas, you need to be paying attention to the kiddies, man, making sure that they're safe. Not that I don't mind having you over here. I love having you over here, but I don't want you neglecting your duties to do that. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to what the people who are collecting origins think about this. I know I watched a certain self-proclaimed toy expert recently today dropped a video where he's justifying everything that he said at the beginning of this year about this particular line, and now he's trying to gaslight and retcon us into thinking that he was right all along, and that he really meant that it was going out of retail and coming to online. I think he's blowing smoke personally. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I saw the post, and I thought pretty much the same thing as you. I'm like, I'm not even gonna click on this.
Well, I tend to watch him along with several other
I mean, I
other
think he was
channels.
doing it for the clicks anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Sure he was. Well, a lot of his video titles and his thumbnails are clickbait in and of themselves. But yes, I watch this stuff, but I watch it for educational value, not necessarily sometimes a little bit of entertainment. But how can
Right.
you understand your enemy if you don't study them a little bit? Not that he's my enemy or anything, but some of the things that he says are kind of off the wall.
Fair enough.
And when other people are discussing these issues, you need to have ammunition to be able to refute them. And in order to do that, you have to see what they're saying to begin with. At least I'm not listening to a sermon and watching you on YouTube.
Right.
This time. Art thou guilty of such sin? I hope not. And Warmade Cardboard has his own channel, Adam, and he makes things out of cardboard, and he has paper crafts that you can do for yourself that he's done on his channel. And recently, he upgraded his Alien World.
I think
paper craft. Say that again, Adam.
From before. I'm pretty sure I have him subbed. I should.
Yeah.
Good. I think I have him subscribed because I remember him from before.
Yes. He recently uploaded a video of the upgrade to his Alien World papercraft, and if you haven't had a chance to look at that, take a look at World Made of Cardboard's channel and check that out for yourselves, because it is absolutely wonderful. Here we go. I think the guru is upset that he was fired and he wants the toy line to fail. A lot of people think that. I don't think that in particular. I think there are sour grapes involved with the fact that he was fired.
He claims that he didn't get fired. It was in one of Mega J Retro's last videos that he was on. He claimed that he put down his papers and walked out. That's what he says.
I don't
know what the merits are to it, but
yeah, I can hear him right now.
That's what he said.
Fired. I quit.
That's exactly what he said. Take that as you will.
Well, we've all seen the meme. You know, you can't fire me. I quit. I quit before you can fire me. Me personally, I'm not going to quit. Yeah. I'm going to make you fire me, because if you fire me, at least I can go collect unemployment. But if I quit, I can't do that.
Right.
But he claims he's not out to see the toy line itself fail, because he loves the toy line, and then he collects it. He buys Masters of the Universe. Well, he collects his own toy line. The classics. I don't think he collects Origins in particular. He may. I don't know. I know he's big into Star Wars Black. He's big into buying Star Wars stuff, and he's big into his own creation. Master.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same with the DC stuff, because he worked on the DC line. He collects some of that stuff too. He's big on DC.
Yeah. But he claims he's not out to see the toy line. What he does want is he wants Mattel to finally say, you were right about online sales, Toy Guru. And I think he's over there gloating right now that they're moving to an online presence, because now he feels justified that he was kind of ahead of the game on trying to do that. He just did it in all the wrong way, which is why it didn't work as well as it should
have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention. Yeah. To be honest. I mean, he had some really good information at the beginning, especially when he was talking about how the toys worked and the classics and stuff like that. So kudos for him for that. So I try to remember the good things that he actually has done, because he's got some good merits in a lot of his earlier content.
That's a good point. He does have an insider line into what the toy industry was like at the time he worked in the toy industry.
Yeah.
According to him, he still does.
Right.
I don't know what he does, but you know, he worked at several different companies besides Mattel. I mean, he's worked for Jakks Pacific as well, but he has this information. Now, I think that some of it is dated information. I think that things may have changed, especially after the lockdowns and the COOF and all of that changed the whole dynamic of the toy industry and how much they can make, how much they can
I mean,
get into retail, how much it's going to cost. I mean, we're looking at massive price increases on action figures and toys.
Right. Well, for example, Mattel Creations would be complete. I'm sure there's a lot of difference between that and Matty Collector, which is that he worked on. So I'm sure there's differences between those two.
There's a great difference between them.
So
The
I
Matty
Collector to Mattel Creations would be outdated.
Yeah, well, yes, Matty Collector was more of a subscription based service. They wanted you to subscribe to it and get a figure a month, or something like that. Is what I gather out of it. It wasn't that they were an online store selling toys, or selling toys for a certain period of time, and you come in and buy them. No, you buy a subscription to this service for ever how much money it is to cost a year to subscribe to it.
Yep.
And then we send you a figure every month or so.
That's right. Yeah. You get a figure every month, and then every 3 months or something, you get a bonus.
Right. Now, John goes, I don't see how he can buy all those toys with no job. Oh, well, see, Spectre Creative is his company that he owns. So he is an entrepreneur. He owns his own business, a consulting business, if you will. He's a consultant, and he sells his consulting services to other businesses, mainly toy industries, where he gets to come in and consult with you and tell you what you need to do to make your toy lines be more creative, or to sell them, or to market them, or how to get customers, blah, blah, blah. So apparently that job gets money. Apparently he has clients. I don't know who they are, and I don't know how much money he makes off that, but he's not out of a job. He owns his own business, Spectre Creative, a consulting business. And like all consultants, he's just a consultant. You don't know what they do or what they consult on, but you know that they are consultants. Due to planning to go to Joe Fest, my toy purchases are pretty much zero. I'm saving up for the Joe Fest / Balacon. Yeah, I have a plan. He has a plan to spend all that money that he's been saving up at the convention. And Payne's Toy Samples has shown up. Hey, man, how's it going? Good evening. Yeah, we're just kind of been streaming since about 4:30. Got about 5 more minutes of showtime before I finally decide to hang it up. I put it out there that you guys could come on, but maybe I didn't. Wasn't going to stay on late enough. But unfortunately, if I want to do anything for myself before bedtime, I have to end this thing. Gojitron says you guys can consult with me for free, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have a consultant that doesn't charge you a dime. So if you need to have someone to consult with, Gojitron is offering his services to you. And kind of like Pop Hayden's Miracle Cure, I'm sure that you don't even have to open the bottle. You can just hold it up to your head, and you'll get the same results as if you opened it up and smeared it on your head. Better late than never. Better late than never.
Yeah. Oh,
well, I'm going to get ready to wrap this one up.
I'm gonna head on out, Bill. I gotta get on it.
Sure thing, man. It's good to have you. And as you go out, I'm going to play something for everybody, and then we're going to call it a night. Okay?
Sounds good, man. Thanks a lot.
All right.
guys.
Well, you take care, and
we'll see
we'll
you
listen
guys
to Merman singing about Sally Brown here, guys, and then we'll call it a night. All right, folks. That's it for this afternoon. Little quick hangout together. Everybody have a good journey, and we'll see you next time. Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.